Hey everybody, welcome back. Shout out to Mace. So for you guys who are just now tuning in with us, my name is Shani.
And I'm Jackie.
And you are watching the Mocha Message. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Hey.
So today's subject is going to be a really, really good episode. You know, we don't half step y'all at all. We come with the good content, right? So as you probably know from just listening to our past episodes, me and Jackie, on top of being very creative individuals, we also have, full-time jobs, 9 to 5s or 8s to 7s or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
9
sometimes
to 5, 3 to 9.
It go a little further. But with that, and we've kind of talked in the past about some of the struggles that come with having a 9 to 5, right? Whether it's being a Black woman in a corporate environment where you're pretty much the only person who looks like you and has experiences like you have, to even just like the stress of what having a job that, doesn't really care about you can do to you mentally. So
for sure.
So today is really going to be an episode kind of along those same lines where we really just talk about, our experiences in the corporate world and kind of like things that I think would resonate with a lot of people who have their own jobs and aren't necessarily, doing their passion full time, which is a goal. But
yeah.
So let's get into it.
So yeah, that reminds me, like, I'm always scrolling on Twitter, right?
Yes.
I may not post much, but I'll be scrolling just trying to see what people are talking about. And, it'd be the same 5 conversations all the time. But there was a person on Twitter, I believe her name is the Iconic K on there. And she had tweeted out about, like, not necessarily wanting, like, to climb any corporate ladders, not wanting, like, a specific job title or anything like that, but really just wanting to enjoy life.
Right.
And I feel like both of us can relate. Like, we've had conversations off camera about that.
Right.
Like how there was a point in time where we were striving for like a title or a position or, to climb that ladder. But, the further we got into our careers, we're like, is this really what we want?
Exactly.
Like, I'm seeing my supervisor stressed and don't got no time for nothing but work and stuff.
Come on.
Yeah, definitely wanted to tap into that today.
Yeah, no.
Because it's something it stopped me dead in my tracks.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a different conversation. I think we need to have it more. Because just generationally, it's been pushed to like work your way up. Like, you want to work your way up. You want to become the big boss, but it's okay if you don't want to be the big boss.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Okay. No, that really makes sense. Because at the end of the day, like, what is an accolade or a job title worth if you're completely stressed out? If you can't even spend time with your family and friends? You know what I mean? Like, I've seen so many managers, like, they're on vacation, but yet you calling into meetings, you answering emails. Like, you're here on a certain day and your kids are like out playing their first soccer game or some stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just like, when I look at that is not what I aspire to. Like, that doesn't make, just because I have this title or I'm a manager, I'm a supervisor, I'm this or that, that doesn't make it worth it to me, because you're missing so much of life to like build this company that we've said time and time again, like, really don't care about you at the end of the day.
Listen,
like, you're replaceable. If you didn't know, like,
right, you
can leave. So yeah, it's crazy to think about how we were, I think, as, kids, just pretty conditioned to be like, oh yeah, let's make sure that we keep climbing this ladder, striving for extra and stuff like this.
Off it.
I don't want to be a manager. I tell people this, like, and it's funny because, in like yearly evaluations and stuff like that, it's always like, oh, what are your goals like for the future?
I hate that question because I'm like, for real, I don't.
Let's be real, right? Like, let's be honest.
I really don't want to be here.
You want the honest answer, or you want just like the corporate answer? Because I give you both, but Yeah, like I'm not striving to be like a partner for the firm, like, and just having so much responsibility and having so much of my time being dedicated to work. Like, I think that we, and a lot of people in our generation are starting to realize, like, it's really not worth that. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much more things in life besides, like, feeling that sort of, I don't know, like, what do you get out of that from work? I
don't know. Like, and I mean, there was a point in time where I did, like, you know, I was in working in higher ed or traditional higher ed. And there was a time where I had my whole, like, from A to Z mapped out. Yeah. I was like, I know what internships I need to take. I know what grad assistantships I need to get plugged into to then get me to an assistant director role. And then once I come from assistant director, I can make my way to director. And then once I work director for 3 to 5 years, maybe they'll consider me as an assistant AVP. And then, but like, what's wild is when the issue with that is when that doesn't happen and you've put all of your stake, like all of your identity in that, you're crushed. Like, you don't even know who you are anymore. Like, that part's wild. And then the second part is, you know, kind of like I was saying in the beginning of the episode, is like, I used to see my VP like working till in the office at 9 o'clock, like barely gets to see, you know, their family or barely gets to, and I was like, that's not it. Like, you're missing graduations and you're missing recitals. And to me, that's just not worth it.
Right. Yeah. I completely agree.
Was there ever a time where you felt like you did want to climb up the ranks?
You know, I think when I first started, like, just very barely entered my career, I'm looking at, you know, kind of the benefits that you get. Obviously, you get more money, you know, obviously you kind of get higher up on that food chain. Like, I'm just a little intern, but I'm seeing like, oh, you become a partner, like, you kind of untouchable, you know, stuff like this. I'm seeing this. I'm like, yeah, that seems really cool. But for me, it happened quick. Like, I started seeing the way I was working. I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not about to be doing this 10, 20 years into the future. You know what I mean? And I always look at, and I feel like there's people like this in every single job where, like, because they've made work their entire life and personality, they really have nothing else outside of it. Like, they're the type of people where if we have something going, like, say we're in the office and something happens, and so they're letting everybody go home early, and maybe you don't have to go to work for the next couple of days. Like, you can work from home. They're freaking out because they don't have a home to really go to. Like, they've created some sort of pseudo home, like, at work. Like, they feel like, okay, well, my coworkers, like, we should be so close. And, you know, I love coming here and I love kind of escaping from whatever. Like, baby, work ain't never been my escape from home. Like, my home life ain't never been that. And if my home life gets that bad to where work is like where I go to quote unquote escape, I gotta like figure some stuff out.
We gotta reevaluate.
Because that's wild. But I've seen that so many times, and it just really discouraged me. I feel like at an early stage of my career to really be like, I'm low-key not trying to do this. Like, I don't even know if I want to be in corporate past, you know, a certain age at this point. Like, it used to be the goal of, you know, wait to 65, retire, you got a nice...
You know how long that is? Oh my gosh.
That's such a long time.
That's a very long time.
And I'm just like, I personally don't think that we're going to have a lot of that in this generation, because I really do think that we've at least gotten this one thing right, which is, you know, what's the value? Like, work is great. Work gives you money. You need money to live, right? Okay. You can make great connections. You can learn things. If you're passionate about what you're doing at work, like, that's a form of fulfillment. But like, I think we're just a lot more well-rounded. Like, work should not be your only form of fulfillment at all. It really shouldn't be a majority either. You can get fulfilled at work, but like, what's going on outside of that? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing internally? How does your circle of friends look? What's going on with your family? All of that for me is a lot more important than work.
Facts.
So yeah, I just don't see that really being the standard or the norm in our generation and beyond, like it was maybe in like our parents. But
I mean, the way that I see it is like, so y'all know my last job, based off the first couple of episodes and previous seasons, y'all know my last job tried to take me out.
Yeah, for real.
But even now, I'm in a full-time role where I truly do get work-life balance. I get flexibility. But it already takes up 40 hours of my week.
That's so
like
long.
It takes up 40 hours of my week. It takes up 8 hours out of my day. That's required, right?
And you're remote. You don't even have to deal with, commute times.
Yeah.
Like, that's a long time.
Exactly.
That's a big chunk of your day, bro.
Exactly.
Like,
so I'm like, if that's what's required at the bare minimum, that's what I'm about to do, like bare minimum. Like, I need to have a life outside of that. I'm not going to be still on my laptop. I mean, I get done around 5, but I'm not still going to be on my laptop till 8, 9 o'clock. Because then what? All I have to do is eat, sleep, and then get up the next day and do it all over again? No, like you have to make sure that you're prioritizing other things outside of work. Like even just in that little bit of window, right? When I get off work at 5 and I try to go to bed around 10. Sometimes it'd be looking more 11:30ish, 12, because I'm a night owl and I feel like I'd be trying to steal time back into my day,
right?
Because I've been occupied for 8 hours out the day. But just in that little bit of window, I need to sleep and I need to eat, and that probably shaves off 2 hours or so between preparing a meal, eating a meal. Like there's still other things that I want to do. Like there are books that I want to read. There are TV shows that I want to catch up on, music that I want to catch up on. Even some things that are going around, are happening around town locally, that I want to check out. So yeah, y'all got me chopped if you think I'm going to be on this computer till 8, 9 o'clock. That's just not going to be the case. I'm just totally off of it. Like, I'm off that. I've learned. I'm like, I'm not doing that, because what ended up happening was like, I loved my job and I loved the work that I was doing, but it was not loving me back. Ooh. It was exploiting me.
Y'all hear that?
It was exploiting me. It was toxic. It was low key abuse. Like, when I've had conversations with people about my past work experience, they're like, Loki, it kind of sounds like an abusive relationship.
That's ridiculous.
And I'm like, that's wild, because I never in my life would have thought that I'd be in an abusive situation.
Right.
And here I was, right smack dab in the middle of my work.
Coming to work, every day.
Which is wild.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about what you just said, like, that was an entire abusive situation, abusive relationship. Like, there's so many people who go through that type of environment at work, and it's crazy. Like the stress. Like, let's just talk about the effects that stress like that will literally have on you. Yeah, if you're talking about a 8-hour job, which it really turns out to be like 9 or so, when you think about breaks and all this other stuff, and I'm gonna stay a little bit later today to make sure I get something done. Like, it ends up being a big chunk of your day, right? That times 5 days out the week, 40. Maybe you're thinking about it Sunday night. You're trying to go ahead and prepare.
That was me. Like, Sunday nights, I would start to feel a sense of dread and just like discomfort. Like, dang, I gotta go back. It would be right after dinner time. Yeah. You had your whole weekend. Your weekend was good.
Everything was great.
You got some time to relax. And then it would just hit me like a ton of bricks. Man. Like, just a sense of dread. Like my whole
like a monster, like right here, just like starting to come towards you. Like, dang, I gotta dark wake up,
or something.
Bro. That's unhealthy. Like, that is so unhealthy to have that much stress come from something that's really a majority, like a major part of your life and your time. Yeah. Like, we spend a lot of time at work. People don't realize that because it's so normalized in this capitalist society that, like, oh, you should go to work, and do your best and strive to overachieve and all this extra stuff. But it's like, that's so much time compared to, like you said, they call it the 5 to 9 after work, where you have to cook, clean, talk to your family. Editing. Right. Like, if you got something on the side, like a creative venture, you got to do that. Weekends fly by. Saturday, where's that? You know what I mean? Like, I done cleaned up. Yes. Shopping. I'm cleaning up. I'm going to the grocery store. By that time, I'm sleepy. So allow me to take a little quick nap. I wake up, like, maybe go hang out with my friends. Like, it's crazy how much time is dedicated to that. And the stress that comes with it, if you are in a stressful environment at work, could literally kill you. Like, it literally could make something very bad happen to you, because all of that, like, stress and just anxiety and all that is going to manifest itself. Yeah. Physically.
I had a couple of like former coworkers who literally like were having health complications. And when they would go through like inventory with their doctor and talk about stressors and stuff, what was a large part of that? Their job.
And we ain't even got good health insurance in the U.S., y'all.
Yeah, so that's a whole nother episode that we could.
Golly, we could barely even take care of ourselves after work has dang near put us in the grave. Like, that's wild. So, y'all, if it's one thing I wanted to stress about this stress and about like workplaces, do not let these people like take over your life in a negative way, man. Yeah. Like, it is just never that serious. We say it all the time. Like, you are 100% replaceable. And that's not me just like talking noise. Like, you are. Like, they will literally replace you. They will put your job position in LinkedIn's and the Indeeds of the world without a second thought of what else you got going on, about how you gonna feed your family and yourself. They don't care. They just don't.
It's wild, because I mean, I do see what climbing the ladder can afford, right? Like, it can afford you, to land in a different tax bracket, a bigger salary. Like, it's almost inverse, because you want to work to be able to afford things, but then what happens when you don't even have the time to enjoy like, these things that you're working so hard for?
Exactly.
So it's all about work-life balance. I encourage people, whenever they switch roles or switch jobs, like, to set new boundaries every time. Like, I knew exactly what to walk into and to request for my new position and my new job. I was like, y'all got to give me time for doctor's appointments. Like, y'all got to give me time for, like, if my godson has a recital or something, like, I'm taking off. I'm not missing that. Yeah. Like, different stuff like that. Because before, like, I was already locked into something and there was no room for that. Exactly. So definitely encourage y'all to, like, set boundaries with every new position that you get. Make it clear, I'll do what's required of me. I'll do it well, but I need y'all to work with me, like, in these areas. I need my weekends. I need my evenings. Like, there's nothing that urgent. Nothing that will draw away, from your family time, your leisure time, like, all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the boundary thing is a great, like, segue into the Mocha message, honestly, because, and let me just reinforce that, like, all, like, jobs and work and all that stuff is just, it's a two-way street, right? It's a negotiation.
It's a means to an end.
You know what I mean? Like, you have power to, like, curate, to a certain extent, the environment that you want. Yeah. Like, if you basically just let them run over you, they gonna continue to do that. Yeah. Until you flat as a board. Like,
and it's harder once you're already in it.
Yes. Like, yes. So if you come straight in there and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, obviously do good at your job. Like, do a good job at your work task and stuff. So can't nobody say anything about that. But come into there letting these people know, like, hey, I'm not going to be staying 2-3 hours late to finish something. Like, if that's the case, we need to hire somebody else. Yeah, outsource, right? Like, or maybe I'm not the person who needs to be here. Yeah. But yeah, no, I feel like that goes straight into the Mocha message, which is really just like, a particular job or position, you know, it can be lit, right? We can get the extra money and the benefits and you kind of climb that hierarchy at work. But if you aren't able to enjoy it, whether because you don't have any time or because now you're sick because of all this stress and stuff like that, what's literally the point, right? So have that balance, right? Like, obviously, do things in life that make you happy. If maybe getting to a certain position is going to be something that's like a goal or fulfillment for you, do that. But also make sure that you curate your work environment for yourself and to be as healthy as possible, because we do spend a majority of our time at work or working. Yeah. So, you know, make it work for you.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, for sure. Definitely giving the power back, right?
Yes, I love that. Yeah.
All right. Well, y'all, I think that, brings us to the end, right?
Yeah, that's it. We
appreciate y'all listening, watching, sharing, liking, subscribing, all of that. Like, we appreciate all the love we've been getting so far. And with that, I think it's safe to sign off.
Yeah. That'll do it. Make sure you subscribe, tell a friend, leave us some comments, tell us about your own experiences at work and how you kind of curated your work environment to work for you. And with that, we'll catch y'all at the next episode.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.